Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to this mega week in the stock market, and we've got the big one this week. We've got HIMS reporting earnings. We've got them actually reporting earnings today, so I'll probably do a breakdown of their earnings probably on Tuesday. I was actually planning to do a video on Sunday, which I never got around to doing, so I might push that to like Wednesday and do it on Wednesday. The reason why is I covered it on the Patreon. I lost track of how many companies I had to actually listen to the conference call on Sunday. I thought, oh yeah, I've only got like 3 companies to go through their earnings, and there was like 5, so it threw out like my videos that I was supposed to make. So yeah, I'll try and get that up for you guys. But yeah, I did do an earnings review of the companies that reported earnings last week, so if you do want to check that out, it's on Patreon. It's an exclusive video. It's only £5 a month, which isn't too bad. £1.25 a week, I think it's pretty decent. And if you want to get some free shares or trading some too, join through the link in the description as well. You get a free share worth up to £100, so go give that a go. That's the broker that I use. A lot of people ask me what investing platform I use. It is Trading 212. And we'll get stuck onto this week. So we've got a few companies that are reporting earnings. By the time you've seen this, probably Fubo TV have already reported. We've got the likes of Natstock reporting earnings. We've got LendingTree reporting earnings. After the close, Zoom I'll be checking out. I'm actually quite interested in Zoom. I just want them to get to maybe a little bit of a lower value, but I think there's still a decent company in there. Workday. And then later on the close, we've got Hims and Hers. Hims and Hers is actually making earnings whispers calendars now, so it must be getting a major company. So Hims and Hers will be reporting earnings. Obviously, this stock has done absolutely amazing. It is I think it's like my 4th or 5th biggest position, but now because of the share price appreciation and the run that it's been on, I think that it's come to like my 2nd largest position now because of the share price appreciation, and that's also why I had to just trim a little bit of it a couple of weeks ago. But really looking forward to these earnings. I was looking at the earnings and there's big expectations on them. If you have a look at the EPS, the average estimate is negative 0.07, and you'll see that's an improvement from negative 0.15 last year. I think they'll actually come in a little bit higher on the EPS side this time. Obviously, the big thing that we're looking for in this earnings is positive adjusted EBITDA, and hopefully, if they can do GAAP EPS that's positive as well, that'd be absolutely amazing. So that's what we're looking at. How close are they getting to adjusted EBITDA profitability? Or could they potentially sneak a little bit of profit in there as well? So that's what we're going to be looking for in the earnings. I think that's what the big focus will be on. Obviously, revenue is key. I mean, 90% growth is what's expected in this quarter, which is just absolutely insane. 90% growth this quarter. They're big numbers to beat. And you can see here the guidance for next year. You know, analysts are already expecting 60% next quarter. And in the next year, they're already expecting nearly 40% revenue growth. Like, that's crazy. So they're going to have to come in with big numbers on the outlook. HIMS, they're going to have to deliver really strong financials and have a really good outlook. I think it's probably time that HIMS has beaten estimates by so much in the last few years. So maybe it's time that it does have a bit of a reality check and just bring them analyst expectations down and cool them a little bit. We'll see what happens. But if they beat, that's absolutely insane. And if they beat as well, can we just say that this company here that is ramping up the profitability, growing at absolutely insane rates, and if we look at like the valuation it's going to be trading at, it's like going to be 2 times revenue, enterprise value to revenue, which is insane. And also because they'll start ramping up the profitability as well, you're going to see total enterprise to EBITDA as well. That's going to be coming down rapidly as well. So we'll be looking for the guidance, what they give off there, because I should expect them to be putting in positive EBITDA for the full year next year as well. So yeah, big expectations. So we'll see what happens. Big numbers that analysts are expecting there. And then we've got Norwegian Cruises, Target. Target actually had a dive in about April time off their earnings, and I added this to a bit of a watch list. I was like, oh, I wouldn't mind actually owning Target. I think it's a safe stock with a lovely dividend. I just want it to come a little bit cheaper. So did hit a 52-week low of 137. So, I mean, if this can have a big drop and go down to that $100 range, I'd be interested. So I'm going to be watching that one. We've got AutoZone, Clover, Advanced Auto Parts. We've got Rivian on the closed, AMC. AMC, I mean, do you remember the days of the old TV times when that was going absolutely bonkers? First Solar, Blink, Virgin Atlantic, and Monster. They're reporting earnings. Wednesday after close, NIO. You don't really hear NIO talks about that much, and normally when Tesla goes up, NIO goes up, and it just hasn't really happened for it at this moment. It'll be interesting to see what they say, because obviously NIO is a company that's been really affected because of the China lockdown situation. So be interested to see what they kind of guide and if they're seeing a massive recovery. So that could be an interesting one to keep on a watch list. So I'll be checking them guys out to see what comes out from there. Wendy's, Lowe's, Dollar Tree, Kohl's. On the close, we've got Salesforce. I know a few of you guys are a fan of that one. Snowflake, Plug, Splunk, Celsius. Celsius is a big one. So obviously this is one that I own. I was actually looking at Celsius and I was very close to actually selling all my shares in Celsius. Obviously, it's a stock that I've sold some shares off for a good amounts of profit, and I was thinking of taking the rest off the table. I don't really want to buy Celsius unless it's like in the $60 range. Ideally, even a bit lower than that. My worry with Celsius is the US sales were absolutely fantastic, but they weren't expanding into Europe quick enough. Now, I've given them the benefit of the doubt because they have switched to Pepsi, bought a big stake, and they're probably going to use the Pepsi distribution for the product. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and give it a couple months to switch over to that Pepsi distribution. But in the meantime, we've had like basically 6-9 months of Celsius not really being growing international, and for them to justify the valuation, I feel like they've got to be growing in the US as what they're doing, but also grow international. And I was getting a little bit worried they were being very slow, and we saw the likes of someone like a Prime, for example. They were really, rapidly expanding as well. And I was looking at Amazon, and the Celsius products have been removed off Amazon on the UK market. Now, funny enough, they have in the last few days come back on, which is really positive. So I'm looking to see what they say about the international market and the Pepsi distribution in Europe going forward. But just a little bit worried, like someone like a Prime, for example, has gone absolutely bonkers this year and potentially taken some of the steam that Celsius could have had if they were to expand into the international market or into Europe. So I'm just watching that. I'm seeing what the commentary is, and I'm worried about potentially other people, other companies like Prime, for example. So I'm going to see what they say. Depending on what happens, I could be a seller of Celsius on the earnings report. So that'll be a key one to see what they say there. So I'll be keeping an eye on that one. We've got Best Buy, Macy's, Kroger, Billy, and we've got on the close, we've got Costco, we've got ChargePoint. ChargePoint is a company that I like and I like the future, but God, if you ever look at their gross margins, they are so low. And the profit, well, there isn't profit. The money they're burning through is incredible, and I'm a little bit worried for them. So I think the company is really interesting, and the charge points are actually fantastic, but I can't invest in it because of the gross margin, the profit. And then we've got Marvell, Broadcom, Nordstrom, and Dell, HP as well. So there's a few companies reporting earnings. You can see here now, though, the kind of peak earnings has kind of calmed down a little bit. There is one company on the UK markets that I'll be keeping an eye on, which is National Express. They are also going to be reporting earnings, which obviously isn't on here because these ones here are obviously US stocks. But this is a UK stock that will be reporting earnings. Obviously, the share price has been on a major decline since around April 2021 time, and it's in fact lower than the CV situation now, which is absolutely crazy. But if you look at the recent numbers that they've been bringing out, they've been impressive. They've been winning major contracts. So we get the full year results in 2022, so we'll be able to see how much profit they were able to achieve in that time. And be also good to kind of get a tone on what they expect going forward. I think previously they said they're trying to achieve, I think it was like 9% profit margins, so we'll see if that's still updated, what news is there on the dividend, for example. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one, and that will be on the 2nd of March, so we'll see what National Express say as well. So yeah, those are the companies that I'll be really keeping an eye on this week. A busy one. Well, my main one's been obviously Hims, Celsius and National Express, so we'll see what these guys report anyway. So I hope you enjoyed the video anyway, guys, and I'll catch you in a bit.